I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. I went over to Battle Creek yesterday and picked up this gem. It is a Tradesman, 7,000 surge watts, 6,000 running watts, Sportsman series. It's a generator big enough to handle the backup duties of a house. It won't run the whole house. 7,000 watts is pretty good. That'll run 70 light bulbs at 100 watts. But, you know, we have bigger things in the house. You got a electric stove and electric cooktop and microwave and washing machines and dryers and dishwashers and refrigerators and freezers, and I have welders out in the workshop, and every one of those handles a pretty big amount. This will put out about 25 amps, which is more than enough to run the house, to keep the lights going. It'll run the furnace and keep that up because it's a gas furnace, and all it's got to have is just the fan come on every once in a while, and the fan's only a 1/4 horsepower motor. So we're well within that range. So we can keep the lights on, keep the heat going, and we'll have hot water, and water comes from the city, so we won't run out of that until the water tower runs dry, which might not take that long in a city this size. But in any case, I'm going to have backup power. Now, why am I going to have backup power? Well, we just went through a power outage last week, and we've had a couple of them this year, and one of them lasted most of a day, and this last one lasted about half a day. Now, the reason being that we had trees fall down and take down the wires. That one didn't take down a wire. The ones in the back of their yard didn't take down a wire, but one down the street did. Caused a problem. Now, Consumers was pretty good about going out and fixing it, but I'm kind of questioning why they don't go trim the trees that are in danger of falling on the wires. They have right of way. They can come through and trim trees, and you can't say a word about it. They can come into your yard and say, yeah, we got to cut the tree branches back so that it doesn't take down the power lines. Did it for me over in Quincy. Had people come in and trim the wires, or trim the trees back around the wires. Had it at United Technologies. They went through the back lot and cut trees down because they were close to the power lines. I don't know why they don't do that anymore. They got rid of a lot of their crews. They don't have full-time crews as much as they did. So the trees grow big, and then they fall on the wires and take the wires down. Then they go fix the wires. They don't trim the trees down. They just fix the wires. We had branches fall down all the way down the road because the wind came up out of the south, and that is a fence line on the fields over there that is on the north side. So it had a long sweep of ground to go over and push across the ground and build up a head of steam and hit these old trees that had not been trimmed in a long time, and down came pieces and parts. So I'm thinking, instead of putting so much money into solar panels, they should go along and just take care of the lines that they've already got. They won't have to spend so much time fixing them and explaining why the power is going to be down for another day. But in any case, this doesn't work. I mean, the engine runs and the generator spins, but it doesn't make power. Now, what am I going to do about that? Well, I'm going to check the thing out and see if I can find out why the generator doesn't work. Could be the rotor's bad, could be the armatures or the windings are bad in the generator itself. Could be that the AVR is not working, automatic voltage regulator. That's that little black thing down there in the bottom. Could be the brushes are bad. But in any case, pretty sure that I can get parts for this because this is the same thing as a Predator. Well, not exactly the same thing, but it's pretty close to what a Predator is. And I didn't know it had that pin that went in there. Would have made things easier yesterday when I was trying to move this thing. There. That'll make it easier to tow around. It's also got 2 flat tires, which didn't make the moving any easier. But in any case, the engine runs. It's about 10 years old. And I looked at it and said, yeah, it's a good deal. Why'd I say it's a good deal? Because it was $50. And I figured, all right, if I have to buy an AVR, that's $45. I got to buy brushes, that's $15. We're up to $110. That's not too bad. Total price, $110. Now, if it's a rotor, I got to look at it a little different. But we'll see. I have noticed that there are ways to repair rotors, and Lord knows I'll try almost anything once. One of the other nice things about it is it's got an electric starter on it. So, no running around cranking. It's also capable of running dual fuel. Now, it's not set up for that. It doesn't have the carburetor for dual fuel. But there's a carburetor kit for it for about $45 that I can put on that'll run on propane or gasoline. Now, I don't know what the price of propane is, but I know the price of gasoline shot through the roof today. Well, actually, a couple days ago. We're up to $4.99 in Kalamazoo. In Richland, it was $4.74, excuse me. But price of everything is going up. But price of generator, even though it's not working, it's gonna be. The price of generator was well within reason. So here we are. Now I got to take this out in the backyard and use the tractor and get the generator out of the back of the truck. I built a ramp and I probably could get it down the ramp, but heck, I got a lift on the back of the tractor. Let's just use that.